Hello, everyone. Hello, folks and followers. Welcome to a new episode of Data Talks. Today, I'm actually very excited because it's a story about a thing what I'm also passionate about. It's about wine. So welcome, Stephan Spijkers. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing well. Thanks, Ben.
Excellent. So why have I found Stephan as an interview partner? He's a founder and entrepreneur in the digital business era. And the people who know me from my speaking engagements, they know that I'm talking about my wine shopping experience. And he has actually flashed me with what he's doing. So let's just look at it, Stephan. What website must wine lovers really follow now?
Obviously, Ben, there's only one answer to that, and that is Vinobox.nl, the business that I'm currently engaged in. And I think what Vinobox does is and why you should follow us is because we make wine truly personal through our algorithm and our data. We can recommend the best wines that taste the best for you as a personal and individual.
Yeah, okay, sounds good. So we're going to put the link, obviously,
Sure.
in the blog and so on, so that you can visit the website. So if you go a bit deeper, so what is the actual offering of Vinobox?
Well, what we do is we have three main product lines or product offerings that we have. I think that the biggest two are gifts. Obviously, in wine, we see a lot of people gifting wine, especially now with the coronavirus and everyone being forced to stay at home. We offer a great solution to deliver a personalized gift with a personal gift message as well to a loved one or to someone you want to thank or to someone who is had his birthday or someone you want to celebrate. And that is something that we I think that is half of our business, and the other half is the memberships. So we sell a wine subscription. You receive a monthly box with 3 or 6 wines, and you give us a direction of whether you would like white or red or a mix of red and white wines, and then we tailor that box every month to your wine ratings. So you rate the wines that you have received, and based on those ratings, we then decide how to fill the next box. So you get a better tasting box every time. That is what we do.
Yeah. Interesting. And if I may ask, what is driving more demand? Is it the gifts or is it the membership, which is, I guess, a recurring revenue for you and more?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for us, the membership is obviously the most interesting one, and if we would sign someone up, I'd rather have them sign up as a member, obviously. But it's also the one where we can really shine, where we can really let our value proposition shine, because I really believe that is the differentiating factor, the algorithm and the truly personal recommendation. But we see both in a 50-50 relation. So we see 50% of the people who visit our site become members, and the other half they visit us to give a gift, and sometimes more than one. Yeah.
Good. I think that sounds like a solid start in business at the moment. And I was just talking to, that's just a side note, somebody from Biostorf, right? The company behind Nivea and all these beauty care products. And we've been discussing the situation of the subscription businesses. And I've also started to use kind of things for, let's say, my shaving behavior, some skincare and other things which make life easier for me. I think there's still a lot of potential for companies to adopt that. And I think you're really on a good way.
Yeah.
So
thanks.
I think the thing in context of Data Talks, which I found most interesting, is you're doing one thing, let's say, in my view, pretty unique and advanced. I've heard you're using an algorithm to really provide relevant recommendations
Yeah.
Well, I think, can you really explain to the followers, how that works?
How that works, yeah, especially for wine, right? Because that is so taste driven and so subjective, as you might think. And I think what we try to do is basically become the wine specialist that you would normally visit in your liquor store or your wine boutique, who then recommend wines based on what you have previously purchased or what you think you tell the person behind the counter that you like best. And we try to become that at scale. So how do we do that? We've actually built a database of wines. Currently, we have more than 2,500 wines in our database, and basically analyze those wines on purely objective criteria. So a wine is a grape, obviously, but it's also where the grape was grown, how many days of sun the grape has had, the processing, whether it was laid on wood, whether that was French wood or American wood. And we take all those objective criteria, put that into our algorithm, and then the algorithm basically combines those wines and profiles those wines on 15 different dimensions. And then we take those wines and those objective dimensions, combine that with the ratings that you give as an individual, but also that other people have given to the same wines and that might match your taste profile, to come to a very specific and very data-driven and very objective recommendation, basically.
Yeah, and let me ask you that I better understand it, because I'm a fan of New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc styles, and I would usually, I go by that. Would that approach help me find a wine which I would probably never buy because of the origin or the country or something like that?
Yeah, well, that is correct. So what we do is we basically take the taste components that go into the New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc. We know what those taste components are. We also know other members and other customers who like the New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc. And we then basically combine those two. So both the data that we have from customers, but also the objective taste criteria that we have in our database, to recommend you a wine that you might not have previously tried, like a Riesling that you might sort of not try otherwise, because they're way sweeter. We might have a special Riesling from this special area in southern Netherlands that is maybe very much like the taste that you like. And that all is based on the objective criteria of the region, of the grape, and of the processing that the wine has gone through.
Yeah. I think that sounds very promising, and it's a new way to do recommendations, and bring people to things that they would have never thought about, but are a good fit for expectations, or in this case, taste. Definitely. I'm continuing to be and become a even better fan of what you do.
Yeah.
So what would you say? I don't know if you're able to share that secret. How long did it take to build that?
Well, quite some time, obviously, and it is still being built and still being improved. Especially the customer-driven data is something that we're still working on very much. But it took roughly 18 months to get the algorithm and the database to where we are now. And to a place and quality that we trusted to give good recommendations. So basically, to trust it to give you a recommendation on the Riesling.
Okay, interesting. And as we have not mentioned that in the intro, right? You're based in the Netherlands, so you're mainly selling to kind of that region. I would expect. Is your wine selection, is that global or is that regional?
Yeah, it is global. So we get our wines from all over the world, basically. So we have New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc, but we also have wines from Argentina and the New World. We have wines from France, from Italy, and from the Netherlands as well, of course. But we have a wide selection of grapes and regions and countries to choose from. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. So maybe one final thing before we wrap up today is, has the recent situation, I'm not wanted to spend too much time on the new normal, has that helped your business in a positive way?
We have seen some tremendous growth actually, and we have been scrambling to get all the new orders out of the door on time. So we have seen a great uplift. But also, so wine is an industry in transition. We are moving, the wine industry is moving online, and moving online more rapidly now because of the situation, as you discussed and mentioned. And I think that we're seeing some really great entrepreneurial activity because of that. I mean, obviously we are just doing what we were doing, but then more and hopefully better. But we're also seeing things like online tastings, for example, and things happening on Instagram and in e-commerce landscapes in ways that we haven't seen before. And I think it's also a great new wave of creativity, I think, hitting us now. Entrepreneurs finding new ways to deliver their value to the customer. So yeah.
Yeah, that might be maybe an opportunity for a next chapter where we may do. And I have clearly learned that still kind of the data is key to the business model you're doing, right? The complexity of the 1,500 or more wines, then all the criteria, the grapes, where they're grown, the barrels, and then you're building these profiles. Then comes the customer information, customer ratings into place, or connecting the dots. Is probably truly the heart of it in order to make this really smart algorithm-driven thing. And I've continued to learn that any kind of algorithm ideas are nothing worth without the data. That's why I'm truly thankful, Stephan, that you took the time talking with me today. And test out Stephan's offering.
For sure.
When we post the link. And Stephan, all the best on your journey with your business. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Ben. Thanks for your time, and goodbye.
Thank you.